800 steps, that was one of my worst days. 800 steps, and I'm counting them like they're gold because to my body that day, they were. And you know what? They were. Because 800 steps is 800 more than zero. And zero is what gives the inflammation free real estate in your body. Today, we're getting practical. No more theory, just real strategies for building a walking habit when your body has opinions about everything. Here's the foundation principle that changed how I think about exercise with chronic illness. Start from your actual baseline, not from where you think you should be. Your starting point is not 10,000 steps because you saw it in a health app. Your starting point is however many steps you did last week plus one. You're not training for a half marathon. You're building a sustainable signal you send to your immune system. Research is very consistent that even light to moderate activity, what they classify as 101 to 1900 steps per day of accumulated movement, produces measurable improvements in colonic transit time and gut motility. We're not talking elite athlete territory here. We're talking park a little farther away, walk to the mailbox, go around the block once. It counts. It literally counts biologically. Okay, flare days. What do we do on flare days? Because this is the question that makes most generic health advice completely useless for us. Exercise more is not helpful when you can't get up off the floor. Here's my framework. I want to be clear, this is something I built based on research principles and personal experience. And you should always check with your own medical team. I use a 3-tier system. Green days. I have energy, symptoms are manageable. I aim for 20 to 30 minutes at a pace where I can hold a full conversation. Yellow days. Something is off, maybe fatigue is elevated, maybe I'm symptomatic. I aim for 10 to 15 minutes at a gentle pace. Neighborhood loop, not a park trail. Red days. If I'm in active flare, fever, or significant pain, I don't walk. Rest is medicine on red days. But I revisit it the next morning. I don't let a red day become a red week. One specific timing note for those of us with digestive involvement, which again is most PSC patients. Research shows that walking about 15 to 30 minutes after a meal is particularly effective for gut motility and gastric emptying. The mechanical movement of walking combined with the natural postprandial digestive process gives your system a real assist. I've made this a habit after dinner specifically, and the difference in my digestion has been noticeable. Not a clinical trial, just my experience, but backed by the mechanism. One of the things that I've learned from behavioral science is that willpower is limited resource, especially when you're managing chronic illness, and your energy budget is already tight. So don't rely on willpower. Design your environment instead. Practical things I do. I keep my shoes by the door, not in the closet. I have a specific podcast or playlist that I only listen to on walk days. So my brain starts associating that audio with walking, which makes getting out the door easier. I text a friend my walk time, so there's a tiny bit of accountability. None of these are rocket science, but the science of habit formation says that making the behavior easier to start is more powerful than increasing your motivation to do it. I want to say something that sounds soft, but is actually very strategic. Self-compassion is not the opposite of discipline. It is the mechanism that makes consistency possible. Research on health behavior change consistently shows that self-criticism after a missed day actually reduces the likelihood of returning to the behavior. Beating yourself up for missing a walk makes you less likely to take the next one. Buddhism calls this metta, loving kindness, beginning with yourself. When I miss a day, my self-talk is, that was a hard day. Tomorrow I'll go, full stop. Not a paragraph of guilt, one sentence of compassion, and then I go to the next day. So the takeaways from today: start your real baseline, not your aspirational one. Build a 3-tier system for different kinds of days. Time your walks post-meal if digestion is a concern. Design your environment to make starting easy. And treat yourself with the same compassion you give a friend, because you are dealing with something genuinely hard and you deserve a strategy, not a guilt trip. Next episode, we're going to talk about something I haven't seen covered in the autoimmune space: the psychological research on what happens to your sense of control, your perceived agency over your own body, when you build a consistent movement practice. That one's personal, and I'll see you there. I'm Kevin, and I'm genuinely grateful that you've joined me here at Battle Within Autoimmune Life. Please hit like, subscribe, and leave a comment. It truly helps the channel reach more people in the community. If something in this conversation landed for you, share it with someone else who might need it today. I'll see you in the next one. Rest well.